As we've learned from the big media, our government officials, even the royal family, the biggest threat today outside of white supremacy is white privilege. And so I wanted to get an idea of, boots on the ground. What does this white privilege really look like? And what I've found is you're looking at it. I mean, this is the new white privilege. This is an article here talking about van life with kids. We have so many white people in Western nations now who are dispossessed that we actually have articles catering to this demographic, talking about, what's the best van to get to live in with your family that'll give you the most room with the kids and everything. This is the Schwartz family here. They have 3 children. Their oldest son, Tristan, who's I think 14, he's actually gotten too tall now. He's too big for the small van beds. So he's really privileged now. He's actually sleeping in a tent outside the van at night because he can't fit in the van anymore. Now here in the United States, we're seeing this all over the place. I'm in the Midwest and I see this. I see families and individuals living in vans all over the place. In this article, the Schwartz family specifically states that the reason they are living in a van as a family is because of the housing crisis and the astronomical increase in home prices and rents. Now, if you think back to my last video on this subject, Housing Hell, we discovered and conclusively proved that the housing crisis and the rental crisis is a direct function of open borders, mass immigration, illegal alien invasion. Okay. Now, amazingly, at the same time that we have this massive housing crisis and our native populations are being dispossessed out of their own homes, the government is actually giving illegal aliens housing value to be able to keep up with the high cost of housing and rent that they have created in the first place. I'm about to show you that the same thing is taking place in Europe. Now let's take a quick flight across the ocean over to the UK, where we find the exact same situation taking place. This is Ian and Teresa Dugan, who have a young daughter and another child on the way, and who are being forced to live in a tent in a family member's backyard because of the open borders housing crisis that the government in the UK has created. Both of these parents work, and they cannot afford to even rent a home.
But there's a housing crisis here too. And the risks no less real. Ian and Teresa are living in a tent in a family member's garden. The family of 4 were given a no-fault eviction in June, but because they both work, they don't qualify for emergency accommodation, which would cost them £160 per night. The tent is their only...
£160 per night.
The costs are ridiculous. Obviously not getting much sleep in the tent and then go and work doing a 12-hour shift. I'm like constantly tired. But it's just what I've got to do, isn't it? It's took its toll on me mentally.
But back in Enfield, the council says it has no choice.
So the government, of course, can't do anything at all to help this native white British family find housing in their own country, which is interesting because in the same city, here's an illegal immigrant from Ethiopia who just boat hopped the channel, who has been living in the finest accommodation in a all-expenses-paid hotel for 8 years, paid for by the working native British population.
You've been in England 8 years?
8 years, yeah.
And where are you from?
I'm from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, okay. How did you get here?
I come from Cali.
You came across the channel?
I come here normal 2015.
And so what...
I don't know now what's the situation look like.
So if you came in 2015, how come you're still staying in a hotel?
Well, the system is hard. You have to wait for results.
Can I ask why you wanted to come to England?
I come here.
Okay. And so, what do you want to happen going forward, do you think? Do you want to have a house and things?
Well, we just need the thing very quickly,
He needs a house quickly.
Look, like example, I'm 8 years here. I don't do nothing. Haven't done nothing.
He's done nothing. He hasn't gotten a house. He's been here for 8 years. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? I mean, this is unbelievable. So Ian and Teresa, living in a tent with child, with a young daughter, are literally paying the taxes for the last 8 years for this illegal immigrant to live in the finest accommodations in an all expenses paid hotel in the same city.